Hello Stinks and welcome to episode 13 of Minecraft Through the Spyglass. Last episode we went ahead and made us this 1.0 megabase, and in this episode I have three main projects I want to try and get done. A museum, get the background done, and get the 1.0 over the section. So sit back and relax as we play some Minecraft. So I think my first goal is going to be making the museum that holds all the blocks that we are able to obtain up to this point. This is something that I've wanted to do since beta, but I figured since there's no unobtainables, we'll go ahead and do it in 1.0. So what I'm going to do is just build a room to contain all of the items, and there are a lot. So I set out to find some of the nether blocks for the museum, and I have come across a nether fortress within like maybe 10 minutes of looking. So pretty lucky, I guess. We're gonna go over to it and explore it a little bit. Hopefully we can find some of the other stuff that's a little bit more difficult. Let's just break our way down to it. And now I'm just gonna collect the blocks, explore it a little bit. See if we can find a chest or two. I did see a blaze, but I don't know where it went. And this one is actually pretty small, so we might have to find another one to see if we can't, like I said, find a chest inside of the bridge. There's a blaze here. Am I gonna die? Whew. And he didn't even drop a blaze rod. So I might spend some time here trying to get a blaze rod, or I might decide just to find another one. Not sure yet. Alright, so we obviously made it out of our nether excursion here, and I have spent some time collecting the rest of the blocks in 1.0.0, which include all of these that are in the chest here. I have everything except some things like bedrock. A lot of the end stuff I don't have because I obviously haven't gone to the end yet. And then the rest of the empty spots are mostly like lapis related stuff, like dyes, the ores, the actual lapis. Now that we have this done, I did decide that I'm just going to put these in chests because later we'll have an actual block museum that has them on display. So I didn't really want to spend the time doing that. Also, just collecting these blocks took quite some time because they're in alphabetical order. So I went through and I literally got them as they came along. So we've got arrow, birch leaves, birch wood, birch sapling, etc. So that took quite some time. So now I think I'm going to work on designing the back here of the background of the 1.0 section. So obviously I have about a doubles chest worth of both stone and cobblestone, and I have a double chest worth of dirt, and so I kind of just want to make this into a giant cliff face that's like super blocky, if that makes sense. So almost like cartoony, like really exaggerated blocks. So if it was, let's say it was like that was going to be an extended jutted out thing, instead of it being a 1x1 it would be a 4x4, if that makes sense. So everything's going to be like really dramatic, and then we're going to do it in this order. We're going to do stone as the base, and then cobblestone as the middle, dirt as the second layer, and then grass obviously is going to be on the top. And then of course we'll probably go through and add some leaves and some vinery to help add some texture to it. But yeah, so I'm just going to work on lining that out, and then I want it to be taller than the tree, but we'll have to see how much it takes in materials to get that high, and then I'll decide whether or not to do that. Alright, so it's not taking as many materials as I thought it was going to, so I think we will be going higher than the tree, but this is just kind of an example of what I'm talking about with the cartoony chunkiness, where instead of it being one block, it's more of like 2 blocks or 4 blocks wide on everything. And then you can also see like there's some parts where I need to like definitely work on them, and like that's a little bit too straight of the dirt right there, but this is where we're at. This is like the first main layer, and then I'll go inwards a little bit with it, and then we'll do kind of what I've done here, but much higher in the back. It's hard to explain, but I think you'll get the gist of it when you see it. I went ahead and finished out the rest of this wall here. and it is massive. It is not as big as I wanted it to be. It doesn't go above the tree as far as I would want it to, at least, but it is pretty big. We're also not going to talk about the back of this because after a couple hours of doing this, I was getting pretty tired of working on it. So the back is it's a little rough. The front is what really matters anyways. I just wanted it to look like decent from the back, just in case if we decide to do something with the ring of sections. So here's the back. It's not terrible, but it's also a lot less detailed than the front is. And then of course, I just connected the sides so that it looks really menacing from the side. Just kind of like this giant cliff face. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and make the 1.0.0 title for the section, like a billboard. I don't know what to call that thing. But that's what I'm going to work on next. I thought I wanted to do like a dirt, like the same blocks I used for the cliff, but I feel like that's going to blend in at this point, so I kind of want something that's a little bit more drastic. I really like the way the red looks, so I kind of want to see if I can do like a mushroom type thing with red and white wool, but that would take quite some time to find enough sheep to do that. So I guess I'm going to figure out what I want to do, and then I will be back once I figure it out. So I looked around for quite some time for something to do to kind of finish out this episode. And I think, like I said, I'm pretty much done with all of 1.0.0. I like how it looks. There's not much else I want to do. The only other thing I could think of was to do all the achievements, but some of them are really difficult. I've done this one, or attempted this one multiple times, and for some reason it's not working. I don't know why. I'm still working on getting enough iron for the on a reel achievement. So I thought about doing those, but I'm not sure if I want to do them. And so I came up with the idea to just kind of do some mindless mining and bore out quite a bit of what will be the future unobtainable museum. So of course I needed to first fill in all the water spots, which is what the netherrack is. I use netherrack because it's really fast to mine out, obviously. And so I think what I might do is start either ending or beginning episodes by just working on tearing this down layer by layer. And of course it'll be easier once we get beacons and stuff, but I think it'd be kind of cool to do massive projects like this while we don't have beacons, just because it's that much more work and kind of more impressive with how much work it's going to be. So I'm just going to spend some time mining this down, and just like that, I bet you can guess how long I spent working on getting 3 layers done. If you guessed 3 hours, you would be correct. So about an hour per layer, and that is not an exaggeration. It takes quite some time to get from this side to the other side, so these middle parts especially take quite a while. And the stone as well. With the dirt, even though it's a pickaxe, it's the fastest we can do, as long as you line up your thing properly. But with the stone, this is how fast you can go. So, and we're not even into the full stone part, so I can't imagine how long it's going to take there. So this is definitely going to be something that I'm going to be doing just either at the start, in the middle, or at the end of episode. What is that? Hello? That looks crazy. I don't know what that is. I guess that's a glitch, a bug of some sort. So it's definitely going to be something that we just do in the middle, beginning, or the end of episodes, just as like something that we can see progress on and kind of work on in the background probably up until we get beacons. Once we get beacons, I'll probably just go ahead and take this all the way down to bedrock, unless of course we've already made it there, which I don't believe we will, but we'll just have to see how this progresses with our world. So I think with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode, and then in the next one, we'll probably jump into 1.1. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.